Hey, everybody. Welcome to The Context Machine, episode number 708. I'm Brian Chaffin.
And I'm Jeff Gamet. Sorry, Brian, I don't have any clever thing for the number this week.
You were absolved.
Oh, thank you. Okay, then I do feel okay telling people that, hey, everyone, we have a website. You should check it out. contextmachine.io.
You can also reach out to us on contextmachine.io, or you can find us on Mastodon at Context Machine. You can find us on Blue Sky at contextmachine.bsky.social, or you can email us at podcast@contextmachine.io.
Ooh.
Yeah, fancy, right?
That's cool.
Fancy. 15 years later.
Yeah. Okay. Well, to be fair, 15 years ago, this wouldn't have been an appropriate address because the show has evolved.
Right. I'm just saying that we've been a bit
I get
slow.
it. Our clever self-deprecation thing.
Yes.
We're funny.
Right. So we also, by the way, we have a newsletter sign up that is brand new as of today, or at least in the last couple of days. And as well as that new email address. So you can find the link in the show notes that'll take you right to our newsletter sign up. So we're very happy we're very excited about both of those. And so our newsletter will include any kind of updates we have since we did the last show. Sometimes we'll have just, additional links and additional information, maybe some reels that we've seen that are related or linked to an article. I think that our listeners will probably like our newsletter.
I think so. I mean, it's very clever. And I know it's clever because it's from us.
Done and dusted. Excellent.
All right.
Excellent. All right. So let's talk about, we've got a little tidbit here about this. Someone writing for the New York Times claims that he's figured out who Satoshi Nakamoto, the main creator of Bitcoin, is.
But for reals this time.
For reals this time. Yeah. So basically, the very short version of this is that this person, who is Kariru, I don't know how to pronounce his last name. This is the person who was writing for the New York Times. He basically took a bunch of writings, posts to listservs from 1992 to 2008, and then plugged those into an LLM and said, okay, find me similarities between these other posters and Satoshi Nakamoto's posts to those same listservs. And, basically I'm trying to figure out who this guy is. And that LLM came up with, this is a guy named Back. What's his name? Back.
Adam Black.
Adam Back.
I thought it was I don't know. I don't know him personally. Oh, Adam Back. Yeah.
I've got Adam Back has said no. He posted on X. Unfortunately, I'm not Satoshi. This is according to TechCrunch. He said, I'm not Satoshi, but I was early in laser focus on the positive societal implications of cryptography, online privacy, and electronic cash. Hence my 1992 onwards active interest in applied research on eCash, blah, blah, blah. He also basically said, look, any similarities are that to my post and Satoshi's posts are because we have similar backgrounds and we're posting in the same places.
Oh, well, in that case, I'm Brian Chaffin.
Right. I am extra skeptical of this for the following reasons. I I don't see how any human being could not cash in on the explosive growth of Bitcoin since Satoshi. So, all right. So, for folks who don't know, Satoshi was very involved. He was a frequent poster to the various listservs that that all these cypherpunks were posting to, and then one day he basically said, "Okay, I'm outie," and was gone, and he hasn't resurfaced since. But more importantly, I think thousands of Bitcoins, or maybe tens of thousands of Bitcoins. I don't know how many Bitcoins are in Satoshi wallets. The many Bitcoins that he owns, 1.1 million Bitcoins at $72,000 per at the time of this recording. Right?
Okay, so that's potentially a lot of money.
Yeah, it's potentially a lot of money. And none of them have moved. None of them have been sold. None of them have been traded. And people watch those wallets like a hawk. The idea, I cannot wrap my head around the idea that there is a person who would own that many Bitcoins without moving them. I don't care how independently wealthy he might have been, although there's nothing to suggest that this person was wealthy. So I have long thought that either Satoshi Nakamoto was always a government entity operating, basically operating synonymously, or did he have since died?
Okay, I can see where either is plausible. It's okay. So I'm going to toss this out here, and to be clear, I'm not doing devil's advocate stuff because, first, I think that's just a weird term to use, but also I'm not doing that. If you have enough money that you're already living a very comfortable life, having 20 kajillion dollars in Bitcoin that you're just not touching, that could be kind of a big flex.
Well, that's true. And it's also possible that maybe Satoshi Nakamoto is just that weird person who didn't feel the need. I mean, that's entire. We're dealing. If it's an individual person, individuals can behave in otherwise weird ways. But it strains my credulity that he would just he's never touched this stuff, and he basically went away and stopped contributing to the conversation, stopped contributing to the development, and it's like, okay, see ya. Okay, I'm just gonna sit here. Maybe he lost his access to all of those hard drives that were storing these Bitcoins.
His hard drive ended up in a dumpster somewhere.
Yeah, or it's probably as many hard drives. But I mean, that's possible too. But I don't think that this person, that Mr. Back, is the guy. And I do feel like the guy is either a group that was working for a government, probably the Russians, possibly the US, or he has since died. So that's my take.
Mm-hmm. I do not feel like I have enough information to offer an educated speculation. So I will accept yours. However, I will say I don't think it's Mr. Back either.
Right. All right. Done and dusted again. Yay us.
Okay.
All right. Now let's talk about the folding iPhone.
Pop music. Oh, right.
Folding iPhone is getting there was a new round of rumors over the last week, basically saying that, yep, it's coming.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I've been following these rumors, and like you, I feel like there's enough happening now with the rumors that it's safe to say, yeah, Apple is planning on releasing a foldable iPhone.
Right. So, I mean, so what Jeff is alluding to is our long-standing practice of essentially judging when the full body of evidence from, supposed leaks, supposed insider sources and things, when we're getting enough of that there's almost certainly smoke to fire to that smoke.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. Here's the thing. I don't care about a foldable iPhone. I can't be bothered to care about it.
You know what I would like to see in a foldable format is an iPad.
Oh, yeah.
Give me something that folds up to an iPad mini and folds out to a bigger screen iPad. To me, that would be much more useful.
Well, yeah. So funny enough, my biggest not care about a foldable iPhone is that I don't use my iPhone very much. And most of the things that most iPhone users do on their iOS device, I do on my iPads, on my iPad in particular.
Okay.
So in other words, that's very specific to me.
Yeah, no, I get it. And I freely admit that my use case for my tablet style devices, whether it's pocketable like an iPhone or bigger, iPad mini, iPad Pro, I'm probably using my devices in a way that doesn't fit what most people consider the norm. For example, the idea of the Max model iPhones, to me, it just sucks. It's way too big. It's this big clunky thing. It's not a one-hand device. And to me, here's my unpopular hot take. The iPhone is already too big. It should be a device that you can fully operate with one hand all the time.
Okay, look, Mr. Tiny Hands, I can operate my iPhone with one hand.
Look, I didn't want to call you out and potentially body shame you for your 3 Mile Island radioactive waste mutant size hands.
My hands are not that big, sir, but apparently yours are tiny.
I'm glad that at least I have hands at work.
Yeah, fair enough. So again, we're both being very eccentric in our views here, and we both acknowledge that. I mean, I like the current iPhone size. I also do not want to be trying to stuff an iPhone Max in my pocket, and I don't need a Max because I would be using my iPad if I wanted something bigger. But that's so very Brian centric. That's a very Brian specific way of looking at things. And
but I can appreciate this Brianism that we're discussing right now. The thing is, a lot of people really, really want essentially an iPad in their pocket, but that's too big. So the iPhone Max is a great thing for them. They get a lot more screen space, and they can throw it in that big pocket on their cargo shorts.
And to that end, maybe I would be more open to the iPad. maybe I would be more open to the iPhone Fold, I think is what many people are saying it'll be called.
People are calling it the iPhone Fold, but
Apple hasn't announced it yet.
the rumor is that Apple's going to call it the iPhone Ultra.
Oh, okay. All right. Fair enough. Anyway, the point is that maybe I would be more open to that sort of max size device if it was foldable. I don't know. And I also am readily acknowledging that unlike Samsung, who, first did a foldable phone years and years ago, when Apple does a foldable phone, it's probably going to work and it's probably going to be good. I get that. I don't feel I'm not excited about this thing. I don't like, finally that's not in me, but I certainly recognize that it will probably be a good device and it will probably work and it will probably be pretty dang cool.
That's fair to say. It will have a crease in the screen. That's what the rumors are saying. And they're also saying Samsung has a 3-year exclusive deal with Apple to provide all the screens because no one else will be able to make the displays to the rigid specifications Apple has.
Right.
But okay, here's what I see as one of the bigger problems with this device. This is going to be a major headache for developers because they already have several screen sizes they have to support for their apps. And now you're going to add with one single device 2 new screen sizes.
All right. You're wrong. And you're wrong for this reason. AI is changing the Claude code and whatever replaces Claude code is going to make things like dealing with screen sizes utterly trivial. It's probably already made dealing with the existing screen sizes utterly trivial.
I am having a hard time accepting that statement. If developers show that to be true, then cool.
I am prepared,
but I'm going to remain very skeptical. I will remain skeptical, and you have no delight how much joy I will take in accepting your apology if it turns out I'm right. Developers are already dealing. Okay, I don't want Apple developers to have more stumbling blocks to have to overcome to get apps out to us. It's already a hot mess on the Android side. And I'm not doing a direct comparison here because I know coding for Android is a different thing than coding for iOS. But it's a major headache to make sure that your app does conform to the wide range of screen sizes you're going to have to deal with. I'm sure AI will be able to help with that, but at the same time, parts of that are not going to be from the code that Claude or whatever generates and says, here, drop this into Swift and see what happens. Parts of it come from you having to tie into the hooks Apple's already made into the operating system for display rendering stuff.
Yeah.
So,
like I said, Claude code will make that trivial, utterly trivial.
I hope so.
And probably
but I'm not buying it.
Probably already has today for the existing screen issues. I mean, coding with generative AI is a changed game right now. It is an utterly changed game.
All right. Well, then here's where the problem comes in using the AI in that way. And yes, I totally get that AI tools can be incredibly valuable for developers. So big setup for where I see the problem. I fear that there will be too many developers that rely solely on the generative code instead of doing what they need to do, which is take the code and use it as a starting point to actually build their app. They're going to use it as the finish line instead, and that is not going to work well for supporting multiple displays, or for so many things that go along with the app: security, privacy, just overall stability.
I'm confident in Apple's checks to be able to keep that in check, and I'm that's already happening.
Well, and isn't Apple already rejecting AI generated apps?
I don't know, but I am sure. I know for a fact that there are developers who can harness Claude Code and some of the other tools to sort out their Apple development issues.
Oh, yeah, and that's absolutely true. But those are the people that actually know how to code.
Right. Yeah. Okay. The real coders absolutely have an advantage over vibe coders today.
Mm-hmm.
They absolutely do. However, that window is closing. It's slamming shut. There will be a time in the very not distant future, like 6 to 12 months at most, where vibe coders will be able to do everything that a coder can.
Well, that would be interesting.
Yeah,
on many levels.
Fair enough.
It'll also be interesting to see how Apple responds to that, because I just did a quick Google search, and Apple is definitely actively rejecting AI generated apps, and if an app has come through and it gets an update, and the update is AI generated, that's getting blocked or rejected. So Apple has drawn a line in the sand regarding vibe code apps, and that will be a problem.
Okay. My feeling is that this will sort itself out. And vibe coding is the way of the future. And this is coming from someone who hates the use of generative AI in the creation of the arts, like writing in particular, and book covers and images and frickin' videos. I don't like it. So I'm not saying this as a as a convert to generative AI. I'm saying this as a realist in what is happening on the coding side as we speak.
And I do see a lot of apps, and not just App Store apps, but apps in general, that are totally vibe coded or heavily reliant on vibe coding for what they do. And I mean, it's interesting what people are able to do.
Yeah.
Right now, we're still in, I wouldn't even say we're to the Wild West phase of this. We're Stone Knives and Bearskins phase. And where I'm seeing it fail, it fails spectacularly.
Yeah, so, right. Fair enough.
But yeah, it will continue to evolve. And what a great path for our discussion about a foldable iPhone to go down.
That's fair. Well,
from iPhone to vibe coding.
Let's close our show with the fact that Kindle and Amazon suck.
Yeah. Okay. So for those of you that didn't vibe code your way into a translator for Brian speak, see what I did there?
Yeah,
tied it all together.
I like that.
Amazon has announced that quite a few Kindle devices aren't going to be able to download new books, meaning like you buy a book
Yeah, you won't have
for your
access.
Kindle.
You won't have access to the Kindle store anymore on these devices.
Yeah. So what's on your Kindle? What is it, in May sometime? That's all that'll be on those model Kindles. And for me, this underscores a place where people legit should be complaining, and it's how long companies support their products. And this is a place where I'll say Apple way outperforms most companies because they support devices far longer than you would think any company would. But in this case, like, okay, so I have a Kindle. It's a 10th gen Kindle, and I got it in April of 2022. It doesn't get software updates anymore. I mean, it did get an update in February, but it's not the current version of the software. And depending on the Kindle you have, well, now you won't even be able to really use it for anything except reading what's already on the device. And if you ever have to do a reset, well, that's it. It's the device is worthless at that point. Right. And so Brian, here's okay. That's annoying, and that's salt in the wound. I have a Kindle that at least it still works, and I will still be able to buy books, but it's at the same time it's not supported because they're not going to be doing software updates for mine anymore. And I only got it in 2022. Okay, but the bigger problem that I see is that what Amazon is doing, I think, is artificially cutting off the support line for these devices, because these are all the devices that can very easily work around the DRM lock-in that Amazon has.
Right.
They don't want you to be able to copy all of your books off of your Kindle and then use a tool to break the DRM so you can put them on another device. And they don't want you to be able to do anything with the content other than what they allow you to do, which is buy it from them and load it on their device
or on their apps.
Or their apps, sure.
Right. So, all right. So, first of all, these devices, apparently there are 13 models that include Kindle, Kindle 2, Kindle DX, Kindle DX Graphite, Kindle Keyboard, Kindle/Kindle 3, Kindle 4, Kindle Touch, Kindle Fire, Kindle 5, Kindle Paperwhite, Kindle Fire 2, Kindle Fire HD 7, and Kindle Fire HD 8.9. These devices were all released between 2007 and 2012. Now, that is 14 years ago, and going back to 19 years ago. That I don't think neither Jeff nor I are complaining about them no longer updating those devices for new versions of Kindle's software.
Oh no.
I mean, that actually exceeds Apple's already excellent support for past devices. What Jeff and I are both critical of is the fact that they are arbitrarily cutting them off from accessing the Kindle store when they could just continue to access the Kindle store and not be updated anymore. That's the part that feels really crappy and poopy and just, not good.
Yeah, I agree. And on the surface, it looks like this arbitrary move, but I think the reality is that it goes back to my speculation that they want to cut off the devices that by their design can work around the DRM restrictions that they want to place.
Right. So we're going to have a link to 9 to 5 Mac's coverage of this, where they've got that list that I rattled off. So we'll have that in our show notes, and let us know what you think. And any developers, by the way, please let us know what you think about our non-coding perspective on coding for the future and what's happening today.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to hearing how you think Brian is wrong.
I don't think that's what you're going to hear, but that's okay. So on that note, though, and that's this week's Context Machine. Yay! If you have anything to comment on, add a question, you can write to us at podcast@contextmachine.io. Our bandwidth is provided even by CacheFly. Top man. The bass is by Dr. Boone, recorded just for this show. And yeah, Jeff, I guess that's actually it for this week, isn't it?
I think so. Brian, I have to say, I'm really proud of you for working your way through that outro.
Yeah, only making 2 mistakes.
Oh, it's so cute how you think it was only 2.
That's fair.